happy Saturday, you lovely, lovely people.
I cannot fucking believe you did that. I swear to God, I knew you were going to do it. And I was I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh my God.
You literally just stole my shit.
Am I not allowed to say it at all?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Well, happy St. Patrick's Day Eve to all of my Irish colleagues.
I didn't know it was St. Patrick's Day.
Well, tomorrow is.
Tomorrow.
Oh, Matt's drinking Guinness with you.
Yay.
What's up? So we've got Shram, Wolfie, Joanne, Desiree, Matt on here so far.
Cheers, Matt.
It is, good to see it. So there's some fun stuff going on tomorrow for Jen, celebrate the holiday.
Is Heineken Irish beer too?
No.
No? What is Heineken?
German.
No,
German.
it's Dutch.
Dutch.
Oh.
It's in Amsterdam.
Not the same thing.
Because it's green though, right? Or not?
The bottle is green.
The bottle
is
is
green. That was confusing, yeah.
Well, I don't see Jacob on here, but today's surprise shot is for him.
All right.
It is a special request. It's called the Brick House shot, I think is what he called it.
Brick house. Jacob would request that. At first when I saw something floating on here, I was a little worried it was Bailey's congealed something.
No, it's a lemon peel.
I'm very glad to know that it is just a lemon peel floating on top.
Yes.
Actually looks good.
Surprise shots. Surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise. I want to give a shout out to Megatron because she messaged me and kindly offered to get me a new set of bongos, and I was like, "You do not have to do that, but if you want to, Megatron, I would accept your gift."
Cheers, Jacob. That is whiskey, isn't it?
It was. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
All right, thank you so much, Jacob.
Woo.
And Megan. And
Goodness.
Yeah.
That one burned a little bit.
After this story, I'm going to go back on my serial killer train, though, because I am...
Does it make you hate the world a little less?
Yeah, dude. All right, so if a serial killer that I cover kills 100 people and brutal and vile and all kinds of terrible shit, cannibalism and all these details that we go in, that is better than doing a story like this, to me, So you start us off. Nicole helped me with this.
I do know what this case is. I do.
Yeah, Nicole helped me with it. So why don't you start us off, man? I will tell you, let me say before we start, you guys are going to know what this is immediately. This is recent news. There's not many stories, I don't think, maybe one or two where I was just like, fuck it, I'm done. When I was just at the point where I'm just so pissed off. And this is one of those stories. I was so effing pissed off, and you'll see why. That I was like, I can't do any more of this, literally. Was I not like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He just wants to get this story over with because it kind of is a headline, right?
Yeah.
It's
February 22nd, 2024.
Do you want me to just go ahead and
That's like 2 weeks ago.
Let the cat out of the bag and what we're covering?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago.
Dive right
well,
in?
actually, it's 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 3.
Almost a month ago, 9 a.m, Tuesday. I don't know. Let's go for a jog.
Oh, this one.
You told me you wanted to do this one. That's why I did it.
I'm going to start off by reading the obituary. How's that?
Y'all know what story we're doing. Here's what everyone hears. I'm going to tell you what everyone hears. An illegal immigrant came over and killed a 22-year-old nursing student at UGA. That's what everyone hears. But what people don't hear and what we're going to go into is what it should be. Illegal immigrant comes over, commits a litany of crimes, including violence on a child, domestic abuse, meth, physical assault of several officers, gets arrested multiple times, and then rapes and kills a 22-year-old UGA student. That's what the headline should be. That's why I'm so fucking pissed off. You guys are gonna flip when you hear the whole story on this.
Laken Hope Riley passed away on Thursday, February 22nd, 2024 at the age of 22 years old. She was born in Marietta, Georgia, to Allison Phillips of Woodstock and William Jason Riley of Buford on January 10th, 2002. Laken loved nursing and caring for others. This passion led her to attend the University of Georgia and then later began a nursing program at the Augusta Medical College campus in Athens. She was a member of the AXO sorority at the University of Georgia and loved all of her sisters and friends.
Alpha Chi Omega. We had a chapter of that at Quinnipiac.
Laken was an active part of AXO and was a kind-hearted addition to the sorority. Laken's adoration for caring went beyond her goal of becoming a nurse and allowed her to be an extraordinary nanny for 2 young children. Her smile was extremely infectious, and she spread joy to others everywhere she went. She was devoted to serving the Lord. She was always involved with the church. Woodstock City Church in Watkinsville First Baptist Church, her love for spreading God's word led her to attend mission trips through the church. Her love for the Lord was exemplified in every aspect of her life. Laken was an amazing daughter, sister, friend, and overall extraordinary person. She will be missed every day, but we promise to honor her life moving forward in a very big way.
I mean, how do we start this? Why don't we start by, Jen, you tell us everything you know about this case. Forgetting what I just said.
I mean, that's pretty much all that I knew. I knew that this was something that had happened recently. It's kind of local to us. Not immediately local, but not too far away. It happened in the South. It definitely kind of rang the bell again about the immigration law argument about what should we be doing with our borders. And it's a kind of divisive case. And, I'm just interested to see what all the details are about it. I knew that she was on a run, that she was a college student, that the person that murdered her happened to be an illegal immigrant. So, I think that, we often don't talk about cases that are politicized, but I think that this is an important one to talk about, no matter what side of the immigration debate you are on.
Yeah, I also think it's kind of fucked up that, like, now she's being used as a political
Yeah, I agree.
pawn, like a political piece,
That's what I, when I
like
said
both
that, like
Trump and Biden literally use her name,
right? And it's
to attack each other.
It's terrible because, if she, if the person who killed her was an American citizen, we wouldn't even be talking. I mean, we may be talking about this case,
Not like this,
but
though.
not like this. Yeah. And so she deserves to be able to rest in peace and not have this be
What she's known for.
correct. And it's sad, but it's an important case because of the way that it happened too.
Yeah. All right, so this just happened, so there is not much, but here's what we do know. And this case is going to be like kind of from the headlines, right? And I'm going to tell you all the information from there. From a CBS News headline, suspect in Georgia nursing student's murder is accused of, quote, disfiguring her skull, end quote, court documents say. So we know that Laken Riley went on a run, and what's that lake that she was at right quick?
Lake Allen M. Herrick.
Yeah.
Herrick.
Athens is fun, man. Has anyone been to Athens, Georgia?
No.
So this is where she was. She was going on a morning run. This was a Tuesday morning. And there's a trail that is not right there. Where was that trail at? There's like an entrance you can run around the lake. Oh, I think it is right here. Yeah, that is it right here because it's got the sign. So this is where she was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is pretty. And it doesn't look like, it's a very small lake, but you do see there are some visibility issues. You can't see the trail way over there. And yeah, just a normal lake. This could happen in anywhere because there's like trails all like this across America. Anyway, so we know she died from blunt force trauma. Now, I don't know if you saw that they didn't release any autopsy where she was raped.
No. That's where you said that, and I didn't know if that was fact, that you had made a comment that she was assaulted.
Why wouldn't she be? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not everyone's MO, though.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, and I love it when the three of you are on together.
Yes, we love it too. Sadly,
I know
I can't be here during the week, but always glad to be here on Saturday.
Oh, you just joined a Suprema. Did we shout her out?
I didn't see her on my list.
Well, welcome, Sarah.
Yes,
welcome.
Thanks for joining.
Where age, sex, location.
John.
We don't say that anymore?
I don't know. Are you familiar with AOL? Because if not, that was not meant to be rude.
Oh, shit.
I think she's not popping up. Maybe my Patreon isn't loading or something, but...
Holy shit. But
welcome, Sarah.
Yeah, welcome. Just tell us where you're from, at least. we're doing, I just mentioned we're doing another case, or we're doing this case, which is in the headlines. And after this,
Hey, Jacob.
I'm back to serial killers. I'm not doing any more of these cases. The last case
For a while.
pissed me off with the guy that shot his wife in the parking lot.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
in the sidewalk. And
Oh, nice.
South Wales.
South Wales.
Oh, we have 2 people from the UK on. Oh,
Do
no,
not apologize.
You are not causing
we
a fuss.
like causing
Yes.
fusses. Jacob, you missed your surprise shot earlier.
We did your surprise shot.
Yeah.
so what we know so far, we don't have the full autopsy report, but we know she had blunt force trauma. That was the official cause of death, and her skull was disfigured, meaning whatever he hit her with, which we don't actually know what it was yet, he hit her with it pretty damn hard and probably multiple times. We also know that he dragged her off the main trail and into the woods. All right. There was a phone call made during the attack, 911 call. However, it has not been released. And this is from KKCO 11 News. The death was not captured on the recording. A WANF reached out and requested it, but that request was denied. Quote, on Wednesday in Athens, Clark County Police Lieutenant said, quote, no dialogue exists on that call, adding that 911 calls are a part of the investigation, which is why they are not being released.
So she did attempt to make a call,
Yeah, and it did go through, apparently.
but they couldn't hear anything.
They couldn't hear anything. So it did go through. However, it might have not went through because this was the same time that AT&T had a nationwide outage.
Oh, damn.
I don't remember that outage.
I do.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, so that's the worst fucking timing ever.
Jesus. Yeah, that is crazy.
One conspiracy could say that he knew about this AT&T outage.
No. I mean,
I'm just saying it could have been a conspiracy, but
yeah.
just making
Or he
stuff
took
up.
advantage of knowing it was out.
Yeah.
Laken Riley and her murderer right there. Now, here's how they found him. They arrested him at the Argo Apartment D 126 from the United States of America versus Diego Ibarra. Homicide investigators circulated to Athens Clark County Police Department patrol officers a photograph from a surveillance camera of a potential suspect. The photograph was a Hispanic male wearing a distinctive baseball cap with an Adidas logo. At the apartment, while police were looking for suspects, a Sergeant Tim Johnson was patrolling, saw a man with a, quote, identical hat. He did have a UGA Food Services employee name tag that read Diego.
So Diego is his brother. Jose's middle name is Antonio, because I don't want us to get it confused. His brother is Diego. So Jose is the murder suspect. His brother Diego used a fake green card to get a job at the university. His brother Diego worked for UGA
Okay, that makes
in
sense.
food services.
Got it.
Got it. Because even in the official...
So
This
at
is
this point,
from-
this is going to get a little confusing because there are 3 brothers. All 3 of them are now in police custody.
This is from the United States of America versus Diego Ibarra.
Diego is the brother of Jose. He is now also in custody for something not related to the murder.
Did they know that at the time?
No, he was only in custody after this whole case came about. University of Georgia murder. This is from News Nation. University of Georgia murder suspect's brother had a fake green card. So the University of Georgia murder suspect, Jose Antonio Ibarra, his brother, Diego Ibarra, used a fake green card to get a job at the university. Diego Ibarra, 29, presented the fake green card to work in a temporary position in Bolton Dining Hall as a dishwasher, according to the university. The university says he failed to submit further documentation and was fired. Diego was arrested the same day as his brother. Law enforcement say they approached the accused killer's brother because he also matched the description of the homicide suspect. Police say that Diego Ibarra presented them with a fake green card and he was taken into custody. There are 3 brothers. All 3 are now in police custody. Jose is the one, though, that is being arrested for murder. So in my stuff, a lot came about Diego as well,
All right.
because he was just charged with a whole bunch of other stuff. So So there's a third brother who is also now being detained on immigration charges. Argenis Ibarra is also now being held pending an investigation into an immigration case. He is the younger brother of the Laken Riley killing suspect, Jose. The third brother, Diego, is also being held. So there are three brothers, Jose, 26, Diego, 28. How old is this other guy? Argenis. All three are being held right now in custody.
Jose Antonio Ibarra.
Yes.
This is him. I'm talking about Jose Ibarra right now. I'm talking about his past arrest. Let's talk about him coming into America illegally and all the crimes that he's done thus far. He was previously arrested in New York City. He was arrested in September before the murder of, quote, acting in a manner to injure a child and a motor vehicle false ID charge. Now, about the murder, his wife says, quote, I have a lot of faith that this wasn't him, that there was a misunderstanding somewhere, but if he did, he has to pay for what he did. Jose, and I'm guessing his brothers too, I'm not sure, but Jose illegally crossed into the United States from the El Paso border on April 3rd, 2023 near Eagle Pass, Texas. The first time he crossed April 3rd, he was caught and then returned to Mexico. I used to do Border Patrol, so that is exactly how it is. They come over and usually they have to walk 80 or so miles across the desert. They get over here, they're caught, they're brought back to a Border Patrol station. There's a big bus already waiting and running. They all load up on the bus and they literally go into the Mexico border and
drop them off all over.
And then the next day, the same people, and then the next day, the same people. That's what I literally saw that every day that I was there for about a year. So that is how it works. He was caught the first time, and 27 days later, on April 30th, 2023, with 4 other males, he crossed over again. Okay, so now I'm going to read this. This is from the motion to detain Diego. April 30th, 2023, illegal entry into the U.S. and assault of a Border Patrol agent. On April 30th, 2023, a CBP surveillance camera operator spotted 5 males illegally crossing the U.S. border from Texas from Mexico. The camera operator notified the Border Patrol agents. 2 Border Patrol agents approached 2 of the men, who were later identified as Ibarra and Jose Lozado Salas. After identifying themselves as Border Patrol agents, the agents attempted to apprehend the 2 males. When one of the agents attempted to handcuff one of the males, he was punched in the face. Simultaneously, the other agent attempted to take Ibarra into custody. Ibarra resisted the agent's efforts and grabbed his CBP-issued radio and threw it into a nearby yard. At one point, Ibarra attempted to bite the agent. The agent grappled with Ibarra for approximately 4 minutes before the National Guard arrived and assisted the agents in subduing both men. After Ibarra complained of chest pains, he was transported to the hospital, where he was interviewed by an FBI special agent. He admitted to the agent that he crossed in illegally from Venezuela. The agent documented in his official report that Ibarra was admitted to resisting arrest and attempting to avoid apprehension, quote, at any cost, end quote. All right, so that is him already off to a bad start, assaulting a federal officer, a Border Patrol agent. He was not prosecuted. He also had a fraudulent green card. On May 11, 2023, ICE, which is the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the Enforcement and Removal Operations, placed him in alternatives to detention, which is it's like a program they have. At this point, this guy was completely released. He was made to wear an ankle monitor, but he was released. They found that ankle monitor, quote, on the side of a road in Littleton, Colorado. All right. So not only did he assault a police officer, he was released, but made to wear an ankle monitor. All right. He cuts his ankle monitor. All right. And then he flees. On September 24th, 2023, right before the murder, or a couple months before the murder, he was caught driving 80 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone in Athens, Georgia. On this date, September 24th, 24th, he runs from police, high-speed chase, doesn't stop the car at all after driving 40 miles over the speed limit. The cops had to pull in front of him with one of their police maneuvers. They told him to get his hands out of the window. He ignored that command and was forcefully removed. Ibarra was then arrested for DUI because there was a beer in the car, and he said he had drank, quote, at least 7 beers. However, GBI, who tested his blood, found no alcohol in his system, but they did find a shit ton of meth and THC. So this is September 24th, 2023. He was released from assaulting an officer, ankle monitor, fled, and now he doesn't have any documentation but a fake green card, which is obviously fake. DUI, speeding, failure to yield to an ER vehicle, possession of an open container, and driving without a license. He got arrested, as he should be, and he was almost immediately released. Not even 48 hours in prison with meth in his system, driving 40 over, and open containers, and he didn't even have a license or any proof that he was an American citizen whatsoever. He also assaulted the officers. He was immediately released, just released out into public. And this is in Athens, Georgia.
So, like, okay, I'm not gonna.
This is what I'm talking about. This is like this is
the crux of the issue.
This is the fucking problem here. Like, it's not illegal immigrants coming in. It's like this guy's coming in and fucking do whatever he fucking wants. On September 26, 2023, so 2 days later after he was released from fucking driving 40 over the speed limit, having meth in his system, and assaulting a police officer, police were called to his apartment on 2085 Millage Avenue for a domestic abuse charge. The female that he was with stated that Ibarra snatched her cell phone and was slapping her in the face. His hands were still injured, from 2 nights ago when he had a high-speed chase from a police officer and, when he was doing meth, and he lied about it, and all charges were dropped, and he was completely let go. All right. So now, moving forward, he faces murder, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, concealing a death, and hindering a 911 call, and kidnapping.
I don't get how he was just like let go. Like
that's the problem. That's
because he was an immigrant that he was let go, and they didn't really know what to do with him other than deport him?
Well, I mean, like, isn't there a process for catching criminals who are not citizens of this country? Like, what about?
I mean, ICE? All right. I'm going to do a shit ton of meth right now, and I'm going to go 80 miles an hour in a 40. How long would I spend in prison? A day? Fucking day?
I don't know if I'd post bail for you.
For not having a fucking...
But you would have to have someone post bond.
I don't have an ID, all right? I don't have, if they were to ask, a citizenship ID.
Then they would be holding
There's meth in my system. There's alcohol in the car. I physically assault a police officer. I try to run. And I was literally in a high-speed chase. How long would I spend in prison? This guy didn't even spend 48 hours there.
Yeah, that feels wrong.
That's the point of this case. It feels fucking wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm a white man, and I would spend more fucking time in there.
Yeah.
I mean, a black dude would spend like twice as much, but like I'm fucking white, and I would spend more time in there. I'm a meth head that just went 40 miles over the fucking speed limit.
I think your point is not necessarily the color of your skin, though. But the fact that you are an American citizen and still would spend more time in prison than that.
Oh my God. He was also caught with a fraudulent green card.
Which that to me, you would say, let's process this guy to ship him out.
Yeah.
All right. Not even that. Not even fucking that. If you arrest someone who has goddamn teardrops on his fucking eye, which everyone knows, if you listen to Lil Wayne, Young Money, that means he's a fucking killer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck are you letting this guy go? He's obviously gang affiliated. How the fuck did they let him go? He has meth in his system and gang tattoos. These are also gang tattoos. And he's let go.
Which tattoos are they? I couldn't really see. What was he affiliated with? The Latin Kings?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on.
Well, it said in one of the articles that I was reading that...
Hold on. I'm not even done with all the arrests he's had.
Lauren made an interesting point. They didn't want to deal with all the paperwork.
October 27th, this is before the murder. First shoplifting incident in Athens.
let's not forget the girl would be alive. Exactly, Colleen. Exactly. So.
Hey, Faith.
What's up, Faith?
All right. First shoplifting charge, October 27th. Second shoplifting charge, December 8th. Evidence of gang affiliation. Trende Aguara is a Venezuelan gang which has been involved in recent confrontations. You might have seen them in New York.
Oh, God.
Beating the shit out of cops. And they were released too, which is fucking weird. Didn't they capture like 8 of them? And then there was like, okay, you guys are good. You guys aren't even from here. Are you not from here? Oh, yeah. You don't know the rules? Yeah. So, like, in this country...
Isn't it a catch and release? Isn't that, like, a thing?
So,
Is
like,
it?
in this country, it's kind of, like, not cool to just beat the shit out of cops. So, but now you guys know. Okay, now you guys know. So, Ibarra has a 5-pointed crown tattoo on the left side of his neck and a 5-pointed stars on the right side of his neck. He also has a teardrop tattoo under his right eye. Yeah.
So right now, there is a proposal, and this basically it would require the detention of any illegal alien for larceny, burglary, theft, or a shoplifting offense. So I think it's
Like, I just don't understand why that's not already a thing.
Right?
Like, that if it's something that, like, I just don't understand
No
why.
shit, because, like, a
like,
regular
if-
citizen would get fucking
Right.
arrested for that shit.
Right. If it's something that an American citizen can be detained for, why? It doesn't matter where you're from, what country you're coming from, but if you commit a crime here, you need to be held accountable. And if it's a crime that involves violence, including assaulting police officers or doing illegal drugs, then you shouldn't be allowed the privilege of being here. It doesn't matter if you're coming from Mexico, it doesn't matter if you're coming from Sweden or, Europe, Africa, Asia. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. The Antarctica, if you're,
Antarctica?
it's a continent.
No, I know it's a continent, Jen.
It doesn't matter.
like South America or South Africa, whatever one.
But I mean, like, you could be from outer space. If you commit a crime in our country, then you need to be held accountable. Like, that's
Agreed.
that's the problem.
While her name, Laken Riley, is cast into the spotlight and is being very highly politicized, I think the point of that is it was preventable. Had other things been in place, she would still be alive.
Like what?
A bright young woman's future of nursing in front of her, taken away.
I saw one report where they wanted to put those blue boxes up.
There should be.
They're
blue
supposed
boxes.
to be on campus.
They should be. Okay,
But
they
she
should
was
be.
off campus when she was running, right?
But they should be in all
I
parks.
thought it was said it was like by the intramural fields.
However, they did one of the big parks that have it. It was rang 7 times last year, and none of those 7 were of an emergency. So I can see how kind of. But when it does happen,
that's what it's there for, though.
yeah, exactly.
Well, they have a couple
But
of
would
them
she
on the bridge.
Would she even be close? If all right, let's say I'm stalking you running, I'm gonna make sure I'm nowhere near that thing.
They're supposed to be on campus a certain spacing apart. Like they're supposed to be one every certain feet.
We
on a
had
campus.
them. We had them on my campus.
I know, but like, all right, so if a guy rushes you, you're not gonna have time. You're not gonna be able to get away from the guy. He literally just jumps out of the freaking forest and bashes you on the head. Like, you don't have time to.
Maybe not.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This one's depressing, man, because I don't know.
Did he have drugs in his system when he assaulted her?
It's a good question
No
that
one
has
knows
not been
yet.
released.
Because not defending him, but like if he's known to be an illegal drug user, he's shoplifted, he's assaulted police officers. Like, I mean, like Nicole said, like if like these things and the fact that he had previous arrest records is the thing that really messes with my mind. Like, I don't understand how he was free to go. It doesn't matter if that is something that one of us did, we would not be out right now because this just happened.
Or you'd be at home on bond and you'd probably have lost your job because your name was smashed in the headlines. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it would be.
Yeah.
There are serious repercussions. The blue boxes, Sarah, they're you see them a lot in universities here in the United States, but they're also in other public places. Like Jen was just saying, they're on a bridge here. but it's kind of like almost like a fire alarm.
An emergency
you pull the
signal.
fire alarm and it will signal to the police.
And it has light too. It has a light with it, so it's in like dark places.
But you just press the button in emergency
It'll call
services.
911 basically.
Yeah. So here's the thing, man. If Venezuela's like, hey, we want this guy back, then what?
It is possible that could happen because we do not
And
play
then
well.
what? Like, all right, we send him back, and then what? He comes over here again.
Good.
That's a bad precedent.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we are not on good terms with Venezuela, but hardly any country, honestly. But
Yeah, it's not a good situation.
terrible fucking situation.
So I think it's frustrating because this could have been prevented. It certainly feels that way. But it's important to remember the person whose life was taken away.
Absolutely.
And it's absolutely tragic. And I'll close with this article about her. And one other thing I did want to mention, UGA, University of Georgia, another student had passed away the day before. So they were in serious
suicide.
Mourning. A student. On a rainy afternoon in Georgia, loved ones remember Laken Riley. A white Lincoln hearse waited in the cold rain outside the church on Friday afternoon as people who loved Laken Hope Riley gathered inside to remember a life that ended too soon. This is from CNN, by the way. With her departure came sudden and unwanted fame. Many people who had heard of her knew too little about her life and too much about her death and its furious aftermath. Those closest to her were understandably reluctant to give interviews. The story had gathered its own momentum. It became less about who Laken was and more about how she died, who was accused of killing her, and why he shouldn't have been in this country, what the mayor had done or failed to do, and what the governor wrote to the president and what the president should have said or done, and how the former president would use her name in his campaign to become president again. It was not wrong to ask why she died, or how her death might have been prevented, or how to save someone else from a similar fate. But these conversations could be loud, even ugly, and those two attributes had nothing to do with Laken's memory.
Oh, wow. Where'd you pull that from?
This is from CNN. The writer is Thomas Lake.
Oh, wow.
So I just want to shout this guy out. But let me keep reading because this is I think it says more about the tribute to Laken, which has been overlooked in the conversation.
For sure.
Let's see. Indeed, as her former cross-country coach thought of her, he imagined the opposite of those two things, tranquility and beauty. Distance runners are an odd group, Keith Hooper wrote in an email. We don't care about raining, windy, or cold. There's a workout to complete. People can find an excuse not to run, but a distance runner will embrace the elements and the associated challenges and tell themselves that they can do it. An early morning run may provide stunning sunrises or a lunar halo, or perhaps you get to listen to the mating calls of the barred owl. This is the beauty, and Laken was a beautiful person, passionate about her healthcare studies, and an unselfish teammate. She will always be with us as we run.
They should rename that part.
Yeah. There's actually a duct tape where it says Lake.
I mean, unless it's like... Unless they named it after a murder prior or something.
It's named after someone else right now, but it's where the lake is. There's duct tape to add an N, so it's Laken.
Oh, that makes
where
sense.
she was killed.
I'm not doing any more of these fucking cases, dude. No more of these new cases. Too depressing.
Like many 20-somethings, Laken documented her life on Instagram. She was dressed up for the prom, swimming in a lake in Colorado, cheering in the bleachers for her Georgia Bulldogs. In 2016, at St. Simon's Island, she posted a sunset along with a Bible verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. In 2019, she commemorated a mission trip to Honduras by posting a picture of children and writing, this past week, God used me in ways I couldn't even imagine. Almost 9 weeks ago, on January 1st, she posted a picture of herself smiling and hoisting a drink on New Year's Eve. Her caption said, here's to 2024. And 4 days before her death, she posted snapshots with two girlfriends, captioned only XOXO. The post now has 2,000 likes, 1,100 comments, ranging from rest in peace to political rants about the undocumented immigrant who is accused of killing her. On Tuesday in Athens, near the place where Laken made her last run, a wooden sign stood on the shore of Lake Herrick. Someone used black tape to change the word lake to Laken. Bouquets of flowers lined up to the ground beneath the sign, their bright petals rippling in the late winter wind. A few raindrops fell. It's really, the person who wrote this did a really good job.
Yeah.
The path led to a forest, a steep rising from the shore, with young magnolias flourishing under a hardwood canopy. It was peaceful back here and beautiful. The trail went on deeper into this natural sanctuary. It was possible to imagine Laken back here, alone and undisturbed, anonymous and unharmed, running without fear. But that was an alternate timeline and a path that did not exist. Now it is Friday, cold and raining hard. A man walked out of church in Woodstock and opened the door to the hearse. Other men followed, carrying a casket that was covered in white flowers. When the world loses someone like Laken, whose light consistently shines so bright, it seems much darker in their absence. The church's lead pastor, Samir Masad, said in a written statement to the media. Laken was special, he added. She was a gift to anyone who knew her. Smart, kind, compassionate, and thoughtful. Don't even begin to scratch the surface. She was a loving daughter, sister, and friend. She had a gift for making anyone she was around feel comfortable and seen. Reporters were not allowed to attend the service, and Laken's loved ones were unavailable for interviews. Her friend and roommate, Connolly Huth, was likely somewhere in the funeral procession, and she posted on Instagram after Laken's death that is worth quoting. She said, you were supposed to cross the finish line with me in our first marathon. You were supposed to stand next to me at my wedding. You were supposed to save so many lives. You were supposed to be the aunt to my children. It was not supposed to be like this. I find peace in knowing how strong your faith in God was and how your actions reflected him in everything you did. I'm not sure how I will continue this life without you by my side. But what I do know is that I will run that 26.2 in your honor and let everybody know of the perfect, beautiful, hilarious, smart, kind, and driven human that Laken Riley was. I will forever be proud to have called you my bestest friend and roommate. I love you to the moon and back and can't wait to see you when I get up there. Super sad.
Yeah.
Man. So that's what that's about.
All right. Well, since you did all the story, you can sign us off.
Well, you got mad at me for saying you lovely, lovely people earlier. So
who's all these hearts for?
For me.
Oh,
yeah. For all of us. Because you know what? It is an important story. Mm-hmm. It is a landmark case. But let's not forget the person who was most impacted by this, you know? Well, thanks, guys, for joining us for another episode of Talk Murder to Me. We'll be back tomorrow for some headlines. Good night, you lovely, lovely people.
I can't believe you just did that.
Run this shit.